Hey, 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 it's your girl Naomi, where we vibe, spill, and keep it real. To turn down those lights and turn up the volume. It's time for Nights with Naomi. Today on Nights with Naomi, I have a special guest with me, Coco.
Hello.
Hi, how are you today?
Doing very well. Thanks for asking.
Oh, man, so Coco is a stripper. And so, how did you get into doing that? Like, how did you get into that lifestyle?
It's a pretty long story, but to make the story short,
Mm-hmm.
I got fired from being a teacher.
Okay.
And at some point, of course, I needed that extra income.
Mm-hmm.
And since everybody can't live off the government, I had to find something to do in order to keep the family afloat.
Okay.
So my mom, growing up, she was disabled.
Mm-hmm.
She was paranoid schizophrenic, where I kind of spent most of my childhood taking care of her in the house. So I had to have some kind of financial stability. And everybody was like, no, now that they made you lose your job at the school, why don't you come and dance or whatever? And you can make a lot of money.
Okay.
So I actually watched friends of mine, one being Luke Dancer. Luke Dancer, she's actually in the Lizard video. She
Okay.
was my dancing coach. She actually coached me and showed me how to move and, how I would want to maneuver my way around the club and to speak to people in order to get my money. So I thought, well, let me watch. And then at some point I just built up the guts to do it. And what played the part of it in my decision to go ahead and do it is because I needed my bills paid.
Okay.
So most people, when we do this, of course, we have to pay bills as well.
Yeah.
So once again, we can't live off the government. I just went ahead and did it. I kind of closed my eyes and just moved from left to right. My first time, if you ask me, I did terrible. If you ask my cousin, she said that I actually looked pretty good. But for me, I was just moving from left to right. But once again, they were like, you have the body. I was young. My skin was smooth. And they felt like, you're going to make a lot of money. And I actually did that first night, even though I thought I choked. So,
and I was going to say, when people get in, like, how does someone usually get into, being a stripper and coming into the lifestyle? Like, is it always a hardship that gets them into it?
Yeah.
Or does someone just want to get into it because they see how it is on TV, they see the money, they see the rappers, the change and all that lavish lifestyle, and they think, oh man, this is what I want to do.
Yeah, so pretty much it's other factors, but for the most part, I met a lot of people like myself that knew at some point we had to go back to college. We had to pay bills, and most of us had kids. So it was kind of like a team thing at first, because it was me, once again, a cousin or two, and a sister.
Okay.
And my sister didn't have kids, and my cousin only had like one, but I think I had like two I was taking care of. So it was a no-brainer for me. I had to pretty much just do something.
Okay.
But yeah, along the way, for the most part, I met women that really just needed financially. They were only doing it for the money.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And our lifestyle off camera and off stage was actually totally different. Some people,
really?
Like myself, I said I was a teacher, and I met another girl where she was a teacher's aide in the daytime and she was stripping by night, and it kind of went against her job and she was afraid, at some point she was going to have to choose. And so we're faced with those kind of challenges and things, but I'll save that for the next question of relationships and how we, get along in society with this being so denouncing. To some people this would be denouncing.
Yeah. And I was just about to say that, how can you balance your work persona and then your actual life in how you handle yourself? How are you able to balance that? Because I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where, what if, Lord forbid, the teacher's incident, she met a client at her job and that was actually a parent to one of her students. That would be
awkward. Well, yeah. Awkward is an understatement.
Yeah, it's an understatement.
She actually told me a couple of times that, people seeing her, or she was afraid that the wrong person seeing her. Yeah. It was just a very uncomfortable situation. But in the end, of course, she ended up choosing dancing, to be honest, because it was more money. Myself, I'm paralegal now in the daytime.
Oh, really?
And at night, I'm a dancer. But to be honest, at any moment, I really don't mind letting go of my paralegal job at this point, because they can't offer me the money that I make in dancing.
Now, I was going to ask, is that fast money or is it still like...
It is fast money, but fast money sometimes is not best because you know it comes with dangers as well. So I'm going to be honest all the way because we being honest.
Yeah.
So before they think about it like, oh, yeah, I just need some money, we're also faced with other things in the lifestyle as far as the street. And the type of men that we deal with sometimes can be psychos. And sometimes we can be psychos. So you have to be very careful not to piss anyone off. You know what I mean? Because I learned along the way, like, you do get more flies with honey, they say, than shit. So with that being said, if you're nice to them, of course you'll gain a lot of money. But when I first started, I was very bitter. I felt like I looked too good to do it, and I felt like I had higher standards than most people around me because of the education that I had, and I felt like, oh, I just shouldn't be doing this. So I was kind of rude at first, and then it was Coco's. It was the owner. I think he was the manager or the owner there. He came to me, Dread, and explained to me, you're going to have to not do that, Coco. You got to be a little bit more nicer to the customers. I was snatching money on the stage. Like, give me that. I had an attitude. You could clearly tell. I mean, but because I was so fine, some men was going for it. And then other men was like, she looked good, but she rude. I don't want to give her my money. Then I thought about that. I'm like, I can't continue to do this. No, seriously, I'm just being honest. So on the stage at Rolex Club, and we did a documentary as well with them once. On the stage, like, you could see me popping and shaking, and then when it was time for me to come up, and I learned from the Miami girls how to put your hand out when they weren't tipping enough and ask for my money. I would go to the bar and I would say to the people sitting at the bar, hand me my money. When he would put it there, I would just kind of like snatch it. And being Scorpio made it worse.
Man. And see, that's the thing.
Being honest.
Being a stripper, I commend you guys, because like, it's not meant for everyone.
It's not.
You gotta have the confidence. You gotta have, really understand what it means to do that and stuff. And so, if I could, I would, but it's not meant for everyone.
It's not.
And you're more than welcome if you want, anything. We're sipping, guys, with some champagne, some sparkling wine. And so, I have some questions I wanted to ask you. I know we had got into a little chit chat. So we actually talked about some of the questions already, but we'll kind of dive a little more deeper into them and stuff. And so one thing I want to know is, what is a common misconception that people have about strippers that you would like to clear up?
Ooh, I was just having this conversation on the way over here. It's like, when I first started, to be honest, now I'm more croner about what I do. But when I first started, to be honest, I wasn't sleeping with any of my customers. What I would do was, I had a kind of system where I would kind of trick them and lead them. I mean, but it's a fantasy that you're selling. So of course you're going to lead men on to make them think they're going to get something out of you. And then at the end of the night, I had too much jewelry on. Management was creep me out the back door. So I would rack up all the money that I could rack up. And then 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, when it's almost time for the club to close, you wouldn't see me anymore. I would say my last goodbyes and love yous or whatever else I needed to say in order to get my bills paid. Then you wouldn't see me anymore.
Dip out.
And I only had like a chosen few I would talk to try to gain like some type of love relationship with. But as far as sleeping with customers, all women, they're not prostitutes.
They're not.
Some of those girls are actually, like I said, like myself, I felt like were too decent for it. They were clean girls. They had boyfriends at home. Some of them was hiding it from their boyfriends, like me.
Wow.
For a long time.
What was that like, doing that? Hiding that relationship?
Is very sad. Let me tell you, it's a very sad life to live. And other women were like nurses. I even met doctors doing this and more. So
wow.
That's recently. Because the economy is so crazy, it's putting people back up against the wall.
Yes.
And people that wouldn't do this is now doing this. Because I was a tum girl.
Inflation
so
is
when
high,
I took my clothes off, I made a lot of money. Because people was like, boy, we would have never guessed. The way you talk to men, And it's, I stayed to myself in the house, and they was just excited about me taking my clothes off. It was like a real prize, because here's this girl who said that I was never gonna get to, see her or screw her, and now I may have a possibility
to do it. It's like you said, you're giving them that fantasy, that desire of them wanting.
Yeah, and then I'm out. And then so once again, me and pretty much all of my crew, we were that way. We had like a pact. We would stick together, but we wouldn't sleep with the guys. We would sleep with each other before we slept with the guys. I'm just gonna be honest.
Okay.
So people have that in their mind for us, and that we are oversexed hoes. Because most men, they don't like strippers, but they commit black on black crimes every day, and they condone it, but they hate strippers more than they hate black on black crimes. So that's an issue, and pretty much that's it. And that we can't be. Oh, and another thing was the whole into a housewife thing. I was just telling somebody today that some women are made out to be hoes, and then other women are made out to be real women, where in fact sometimes it could be the other way around.
Really?
Yeah. So we were speaking about, I think Kendrick Lamar has a
song about it. Yes.
Yeah, that's where it came from.
And that's where that came.
I was speaking with someone just today about it, and I was like, yeah, that does make a lot of sense. So that does make a lot of sense. But yeah, for the most part, it's been times where I've seen married people do way more than myself.
Than yourself. Okay.
And I was like,
man. And so I'm really glad you cleared that up, because, like I was saying, people think that it's like, have you seen the movie Hustle with Jennifer Lopez and Cardi B? Okay, right?
And they kind of made them come off just a little bit uneducated. And like, once again, most of those girls are highly educated because they're doing this for a purpose, for a goal. Not everybody. 50% of them probably don't have goals, but for the women that I met, we had goals, real hard life goals that we were trying so desperately to meet. And that seems to be the only way to this day. That's why I do it, because I have a business that I want to run, but in order to keep it stocked up, at times I have to do this from time to time. So, sometimes I'm a housewife or I'm a girlfriend, and then sometimes I'm doing this. So it just depends on what's going on in my life. Like now I'm single again, newly, I think. But yeah, you can lose boyfriends, and definitely will lose your husband behind this.
And then even certain, I know Cardi B has said in an interview that her mother was so upset when she found out that she was a stripper.
Mine too.
She was.
And it hurt her pretty bad, because once again, I was a good girl. I was looked upon in the family as the breadwinner for a long time. Like education wise, I graduated valedictorian, so it was just a big shocker. It's a big shocker.
And that's another common misconception. They think just because you're a stripper that, like you said, you're not educated, and that you're just a low bottom, person off the street.
Whereas, like with motherhood, it takes this to raise a child.
Yes.
So it takes a heart to raise a child, and some of those women are sweet as well. So you can't really judge the book by the cover type of thing, because most of those girls I met, when I got to really know them, they were really actually sweeter than most people on the outside that I was meeting. They were actually more sensitive and more understanding to people's needs as a human. And it's just, they were safer to me than most people that you would meet on the street.
Man, that's amazing. And so what is a pre-ritual or like a performance pre-ritual routine you like to do before going on stage? Is there something like you?
What we doing right now?
Look.
So in order to relax, we are told to have a drink, but once we're dancing, I think it's like a 2-drink minimum or something, or nothing at all. So most of the clubs don't want you to drink. So you have to kind of pre-ritual at home. So after your shower and you're sitting there and you're doing your makeup, you better go ahead and get that drink in. Especially if you're not used to doing this, and you were like myself, you started out shy and you just can't push yourself to take your clothes off. You better have a drink. That's all the pre-ritual you're going to need besides dollying up.
Okay. And I was going to say that when you I guess it varies on different clubs, and let me know if I'm incorrect. When you go to the club, do you have to have everything ready Or can you get dressed up there?
They have dressing rooms, but once again, when I first started, now this is not based upon my pro. I feel like I'm a professional now.
I know,
but I need to speak to the amateurs because it's very, very scary.
Okay.
I'm telling you, when you first start, it's so dangerous. Everything is moving so fast. It's different with people, different attitudes. It's worse than being a waitress at a restaurant.
Is it?
Yeah, because you have to actually directly, converse with these people and mingle with these people. So I would say, to an amateur that you want to get that drink in so you can feel good. If you don't drink, you're going to have to tell yourself at some point that this is what I need to do, what I want to do. I got to do this in order to keep stuff afloat. And booyah. Booyah. There you have it. Okay. So, yeah, pretty much.
And like,
did I answer the question?
Yeah. You said you like to drink right before you get on, and usually you drink before you get to the club because they don't let you drink when you get there. So, and you would think that you're like kind of like the employee there. They will at least let you get a drink in.
Not all the time, because some people overdo it.
Oh,
I have, but I always wait till I make all my money, to be honest, and then I go to acting like a clown. So you may see me just a little bit later, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, because we've had a couple of drinks, so we're not behaving the same way we would be sober. And believe it or not, when I'm not at work, I don't even drink.
Really?
And before this, I didn't drink.
Man.
So that's why I had to leave a word for people that don't drink, because it was like, what am I going to do at first? I was like, I can't drink. I can't. So I had to sit there. I would play with cards. I would just tell myself in my head that, I was a good person in the inside. People should judge people by their hearts. Because I was telling my friend girl once again about the woman situation, and women acting like hoes, and also hoes acting like women, because it can go that way. Women can act like hoes at certain times, and real women, and like myself, and then hoes can act like women. I ain't gonna give no instance of that, but we see it in the industry. We see it in the industry with these rappers and things like that, where they just believe that they are natural born hoes. I got a couple of friends that don't care. They will tell you they feel like they were natural born hoes. I hate to say that, where some of us want to stick to the morals and a little bit of respect, right, that we have. Some of us don't give a damn. So I'm just gonna be honest. And I even had that spur. They call it the whole phase, but I don't think it was more of that.
I think everyone goes through that.
No, I don't think mine was more of a whole phase. Mine was more of mental health.
Mental health? Okay.
Yes, and giving up after what happened to me, because like I lost my job because I was kidnapped back in 2009. And I'm not sure how long they held me, because it's still ongoing investigation with what's all going on now with the human trafficking thing. But it pretty much messed me up pretty bad. So for a long time, I kept my composure and tried to keep my ladylikeness. But at some point, I just felt like when I was a good girl, I got did over. My husband cheated on me, and I had to divorce my husband. And it's just, I went through a lot of things. I'm like, what's the difference? I got shitted when I was a good girl. I had only slept with 2 men in my whole life. Now that I'm sleeping with a couple of more men and I'm dancing, I don't mind showing my body. To be honest, I got treated better. So yeah, like I got more help than I was when he was cheating and would run out. And I would say to people, look, I need help because my husband has been providing. I don't know how to pay my bills at this point. I have an education that I didn't even get to use. So that's another thing. You always want to be able to have your utilize your skills. If you have any education, that's plus.
And that reminds you this, like, so Summer Walker. Are you familiar with the artist, the R&B artist Summer Walker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so she did a song with Party Next Door, and it's just want to be a hoe or something like that.
Right.
And so pretty much in the song, what I got from it was the same thing you were saying. Like even when she acts like a good person, she gets played over. So she's like, I just want to be a hoe at this point. I want that bad boy that can spend the money on me because I know that I'm gonna get what I want.
It's a feeling. It's a feeling.
And so it's like I'm tired of being good. What she was talking about, I just want to be a hoe because it seems like that's the only way to go. So I was like, when you had said that,
blocks feelings and just blocks out a lot of stuff. And of course, when you're paid, it feels like it seems all of your problems go away to a certain extent. You have problems, more money, more problems on other ends,
Biggie, right?
Aspect of life. But for the most part, it's like you use the money as a cure to whatever it is that's going on in your life. I know I did. I got so much money. I really didn't care about little stuff that was going on around me besides my mother passing away. That bothered me a lot. So I had to, constantly come in and out of town to check on her and get my kids from her. She couldn't babysit the way she used to because she was ill.
Oh,
but
so
yeah, for the most part, the money, we could use it sometimes to pacify us. When I think sometimes when you see a good girl and all of a sudden she just turns bad, it's something else deeper than just a whole phase.
Yeah.
It's mental health or, my case, what was done. So I got kidnapped and I got human trafficked. And then I just felt like, wow, they made my body count go up and it was against my will. Yeah. And I'm like, all this time they've been calling me a home, not sleeping with anyone but one person. Now that these men have got hold to me and, they had dropped some stuff in my drink, I stopped drinking and I was just very paranoid, off to the world. And I just confined myself to my room daily until it was time to go to work and just straight to the strip club and back home. I wouldn't date anyone and
didn't really have like a social life during that time.
I didn't have a social life at all. I think I had like one friend guy that I talked to. And yeah, I stopped dating. My boyfriend, obviously he went away and it was terrible. So in that case, yeah, it's different.
Yeah, man. And for you to be able to go through that and still
I took some time off. I did. I took some time off years. So that's when me and our friend here we disconnected. And then I reconnect at certain times. But I try to give the relationship thing again a chance again here and there. But once again, I've lost 2 boyfriends. I lost just recently a boyfriend. He was very decent, and the one before him wasn't so much. To be honest with you, he was a drug dealer, and I was dating him, and it felt real bad that when he found out I was dancing again, he dropped me. He dumped me. And I was like, well, you got some nerves because you're a drug dealer.
That's right. I was thinking the same thing.
Like, I thought like because he was a hustler, he would respect my hustle.
Exactly.
And that didn't work. So that threw me into a deep depression where I felt like I didn't have anyone on my team. And I'm looking at all the other dancers around me, pimp sometimes, most times. I didn't believe in having a pimp. And I was like, I want that protection too. And my friend girls, they had boyfriends that they went home to, and I didn't have that. So it's a very lonely life. If you haven't already established that with your mate, then it could be a whole problem back to the relationship thing. And then the second dude, it goes against what he does as far as his work. So I try to hide to respect him and his job, but at the same time, I'm a hustler and I need my money.
Look.
So when he found out, I was hoping that he would respect it. But being man that he is, of course, he did not respect it. And so he kind of curved
left
me as
out.
Well.
Yeah. And so is it always best after everything you've been to just to be upfront and say, hey, this is who I am, rather than just hide it and let it come out later on?
Most definitely. I actually was truthful about it in both relationships, to be honest. I didn't really hide it. I have before, but these last 2 relationships, I didn't hide it because I was tired of the revolving doors of men coming in and then they, say one thing and then do another. Then I have to start dancing to make ends meet, and then now they don't respect it. I'm this, I'm that. I'm making more money though.
Exactly.
And I'm saying to them,
like, why are you mad? Like,
so that's the problem too. So some men don't want you to make more money than them, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge. So sometimes
you gotta deal with the ego of what you have going. Like,
it can be seen as not worth it at times. So it's always good to take a break. I do. I take a break and I do paralegal work. Like I said, in the daytime, it's been 3 years I've been working for a big company. I can't say that name. Of course.
No, you good.
Even though it's no conflict of interest and they really don't mind. But I've been working for a big company. I've been working for a big company as a paralegal now I've been a paralegal 2 years, and I came in as a telecommuter and services. So I was like a financial, I was in the financial department / telecommunications. Where I would fix like electronics over the phone. And if I couldn't, I could get you into a store where we could help you out a little bit more. But yeah, once again, you want to keep some kind of skill, what I'm getting at, under your belt, because sometimes you're going to need a mental break from this. This is, Yeah.
Yeah, you can't make it like a full-time job. You gotta have something else.
It can be a full-time job for a little while, but once again, it does take a mental toll on you. So I would advise to be ready.
Be ready.
Be advised of that.
Okay. And like, what do you think? What is a myth about strippers that you want to debunk? I guess it could be
a myth is, once again, like the body count. When I came in, I had body count of 2. I had no idea. To be honest, can we be kind of explicit?
No, do your thing, okay. Girl.
So when I first started dancing, I had only slept with 2 men in my whole life. And I just learned how to ride a dick and kiss and kiss literally the beginning of 2024.
Yeah.
I had no idea what the hell I was doing all the way up until that point. Once again, it was a fake, it was a facade, it was just something to put on in order to get the money. I was trained, and I was trained by the best. Come on now. The girl in the Here Lizard video, Luke Dancer, we all know about Luke Dancer. So if you know any one of those women, then you know she wasn't playing with my ass. So she really taught me how to go and how to move my body and how to work my body, when in fact I have no clue. I was not good in bed.
Really? And I was gonna say, like, when you started dancing too, did you know how to move, how to dance?
I did. I knew how to work my body, but I don't know. It was just something in my mind, and maybe I was too young that I would only go so far. Suck a dick to me was ill.
Oh yeah.
And even to this day, I only suck the dick I like. But I never.
But see, look, I don't know, it's just me, but some dicks be funny. I just can't be putting my lips on all these dicks. Can't be sucking.
That's right. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. Whether you're making money or not, you're making money from an image. You really feel like you shouldn't have to do that to the person that you like. So I didn't know how to ride a dick or kiss until the beginning of this year. And then I started sleeping with a childhood friend that I grew up with. And he actually was a little bit more experienced than me, but I was 2 years older than him.
So he kind of helped you and taught you
showed me how to kiss and show me how to ride. And I felt comfortable with him because I known him mostly all of my life since the crib. So, but if it wasn't for him, I still would be clueless. So that's a myth, that we're hypersexual. We have high body counts. To this day, to be honest, I ain't sleeping with nobody.
Yeah.
Like, I use my body to get the money. And if it's a big amount, I may sleep with them. But if it's not some ridiculously high amount, they're probably not going. They can it. Yeah.
And see, this is whole taboo thing about, sex and having it. And it's like, how are you going to know how to have sex unless you experience with somebody or something? And so being able to, find someone like you did to go through everything that you want to know, you need that, because if not, you're going to be, like you said, you would have never known how to do any of these things and stuff. And like,
people would have thought that I knew how to do all of that just from the way I was moving on the stage and the conversations I would have with them on the floor.
Okay.
But I didn't have a clue.
Yeah, I have a clue, man. Man,
I had a stepsister that tried to teach me for years on how to put the lipstick on and get in the mirror and position my face and kiss the mirror like the way you want to kiss your boyfriend. Yeah, and I was like, this ain't working.
Look and try to kiss your hand or something, or kiss the teddy bear just to see how to kiss properly. Man, that stuff don't be.
Yeah, it wasn't cutting it.
So, it wasn't helping.
Yeah, I had to go more in depth with like hands on, lips on.
I had to do the same thing. But see, with me, I didn't start doing that until like I started getting in college. Because in high school, like same as you, I was a really shy person. I like to say to myself, antisocial. I did, extracurricular activities outside of school, but I really was in my little bubble of the people I hung out with and didn't really do anything else and stuff. And
it's that way. It's just like that.
Growing up, you hear about people having sex and doing stuff.
And a dad that's unprotected. I mean, a dad that's protective of you and don't want you to go anywhere. And if you're unprotected, you don't have nobody following you like other brothers. But I had siblings.
Yeah, me too.
My siblings wasn't having that shit because I was fine as hell. So my dad was always watching. I could go out and be free and hang with because no diddy. I could go out and hang with my friends and be free with all the other girls. But as soon as a guy came through, he's old fashioned. He wants you to meet him just to talk to me. You have to go through him to get to me. So it was like I couldn't really date like that. And then when it was time for me to marry, I ended up marrying my next door neighbor because my dad approved of my next door neighbor versus
then
the rappers and everybody else that was like, she's fine. Why she want this broke ass man? He wasn't really even broke. He just was a hard worker. He worked a 9 to 5.
He was a good man.
Yeah, he was a good man. He was making an honest living.
Yeah.
So to that, with another, from one man to another man, he felt like this is who is fit to date my daughter. I don't want any of you rappers and drug dealers, even though he was a drug dealer back in the day. He don't say nothing. I guess he knew how he was.
What he didn't want that happening to you.
Doing behind my mom's back, that he just didn't want me to. I was protected. He was overprotective. I couldn't go anywhere by myself, and I had other sisters, so we all had to stick together.
Okay,
like I couldn't go anywhere without my other sister, and my other sister couldn't go nowhere without me.
Oh, y'all was tight in. That's exactly how my mom was with us.
But I'm glad, to be honest, because what's going on now in the world that kind of kept me from a lot of stuff, and that's probably why I'm so slow to what was going on out here, to the point where I didn't even know how to kiss around a dick. Because he refused to let us be exposed to certain stuff. But once you get a certain age and you like,
and you want to try certain things and be experienced,
I'm in my own place. Like you can't
stop me. Yeah, exactly. I remember one time, like just like with my brothers, they're very protective of me. I'm in the mall, we're all hanging out, and I'm walking down, and there's these group of guys coming in the opposite direction. They're looking at me, checking me out. My younger sibling, now look, he's a football player. At the time, and he's built. So people think that he's older than me just because of how he's built. And so I didn't pay attention to it. I'm walking down, and the guys are walking the opposite direction. They're checking me out, and then when they walk by me, they look at my butt. Man, he got up. He's like, "Hey, bro," and then he's just like, "Don't be looking at my sister," and then walked in front of me. I was like, stop. He's like, no, like I was like, dude, I'm older than you. You have to like. He's like, no, no. Yeah. So I get that.
The men in the family don't play about the women in the family.
He did not play no games, and they always like
joke. Seriously.
Yeah. Even till this day, they still be watching over me. Like they be going to my shows and seeing me. I remember one time I did a show out in Atlanta downtown, and I had did my song "Slade," and I'm dancing. You know, I had my little little nice little furry robe and everything, dancing, bending it down. I'm doing my thing. I get off stage. Don't you ever do that again, Jad? That was nasty. I was like, what?
They're going to keep you in check. But to be honest, like I said, to a certain extent, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But then to another certain extent, I was completely retarded to dating and what to say and to do. And I felt uncomfortable just being in men's presence when I first started dating.
Man, so I would feel so uncomfortable too. And like, I wouldn't know how to act or how
imagine being married and then going straight from divorcing to being a good girl to straight to stripping.
Stripping, right.
That is crazy.
That man, crazy.
It was crazy experience and time of my life. But yeah. Now, as a professional, it doesn't bother me. A lot of stuff doesn't bother me. Like the statistics where we were just talking about strippers don't make good housewives.
Yeah.
We've seen a couple of them that's still married to, because look at Superhead. She's married.
Doing her thing.
And she went through pretty much similar to what I went through. And she didn't let that stop her. She was productive. It's like you could tell where her goal was. Her main focus was to take care of her son. Once she got enough money to take care of her son, she was out of there.
She did.
She was out of there. So that's pretty much all of our goals.
That's everyone.
Just hurry up if we
get that money
enough to snatch up the money. Yeah, the funds, and then go.
Yeah. And so I have a question. What is your favorite type of song when you're in the strip club that you like to listen to? What do you like to listen to when you're in
pretty much that song "Slade" that you have is very similar to songs that I dance off of.
Okay.
That I would dance to. That's pretty much my style. It's just putting it out there as, setting this mood,
scene. Is it like a Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion?
Giving out your persona.
Okay.
Saying that, look, this is what I'm about. Don't come to me with anything other than princess treatment, even though I'm showing my body.
Exactly.
I'm still a woman, and I want to get paid.
Exactly. Want me my money.
That's my, and Trina. Of course, we learned a lot. Trina. We learned a lot from Trina.
Yes.
So she was the first person that told us to sell
it by the brand. Do it. Yeah, she made the blueprint for us.
I like that Trina style whenever I'm in the club. And the New Day stuff I'm really not feeling, but I really love Glorilla. I don't know.
She
I just started to like her.
Yeah.
So I could see myself dancing to some
Glorilla up in the club. Look.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, she definitely has her own personality.
Yeah.
And I could tell that.
And I think people gravitate to that because they see that she's authentic and she's herself. And so, yeah. And if you could pick, I have a question. If you could pick one celebrity to give you, to give a private dance to, who would that be and why?
Oh Lord, one celebrity?
Yeah.
Okay, because I've danced for a few.
I'll do one too. If
I've dated a couple as well, a couple of celebrities. I also have danced for a couple of celebrities. But you mean like celebrities I haven't danced for so far? Who would I dance for and why?
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, they gonna pick Usher.
Usher?
Yeah, and you would do Usher? Say this because yeah.
Look, you be. You be seeing his shows now. You be getting them ladies.
Yes, and he seems to be a gentleman. So I think it's why all of the women are drawn to him, because once again, it's a dangerous lifestyle. You cling to anything that looks good, feels good, and if you think you're safe, then you're pretty much gonna go with somebody that's like Usher. He's talented.
Yes.
He's attractive, and he got the money.
Yes.
So
Usher will be your private dance?
Yeah. That you would give it to? When that stuff happened to me back in the day, I was like, damn, why couldn't have been Usher? It wouldn't have been. And look, it wouldn't have been a charge. I would have been like, yeah, damn, what we doing tonight, baby? You feel me?
Right? Oh, man. Yeah. Usher would be that person.
Most definitely.
What is it like being in the strip club when you have those celebrities there? Is it a good payday? That's a good night.
Oh yeah, that's a good night. Definitely. I've seen girls retire, being in the club. I think the last girl I seen retire, were we Queen of Diamonds? Where was that? One of those spots in Miami, and it was an all white party with Jeezy. Oh. And the girl racked up so much, they was making them put the money on the counters, which I have a problem with putting my money on the counter. So that's the only problem I run into, by the way, too. I hate putting my money on the counter. I'm so spoiled. I feel like if I work hard for it, I don't want to put my money on the counter.
So what does that mean when you put your money on the counter?
Because you have to give the club a percentage of it.
Oh,
you have to give the club percentage of it. And so I don't want to give the club a percentage of it because I feel like I'm drawing in most of the money.
Yeah, that's my money.
On regular days, on all the days. So it's like, no. I don't want to give you but so much. But she had enough money to retire. And also once here in Georgia, I went to a gathering, and he was just like a regular kingpin or something. I'm not sure, but the other guy who he was throwing the party was a brother or a best friend, and he was disabled. Okay. He was in a wheelchair. So long story short, the kingpin was giving his brother a party at the club. And we was all at Rat Club. This was just a hole in the wall private club, Dirty Rats. And he brought his whole family from Alabama and all of his friends. And it was so much money that I met the guy before he actually booked with the club. And then we were speaking, conversating. And he was saying, you know, I'm going to do my party. I want you to be there, be one of the main dancers. So when it's time to get the money, you get it. And it worked just like that I made so much money. I actually retired for quite some time
off of that.
Yeah.
Oh, so you look. Yeah, all in one night you retired just like that.
Yeah, just that one night. It was so good to the point where like I was like 3 o'clock. I'm out of here 3 o'clock. I was headed home. I had so much money. They didn't see me no more. Not just the next night for a long time. I would say for the rest of that year. Oh, it was enough money to last me for the rest of the year, because actually I had an after party.
Oh,
so they came to my spot, and then I made even
more money on top of what you made that night. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
It was very nice.
So what?
Alabamians know how to party.
No, they do. Look, we need to go to Miami. We need to check it out and see how Miami be.
Yeah, Miami is. Yeah, it's the home of, to me, nightlife.
It is.
Period. Like stripper life to escort life to whatever it is that they trying to do in adult entertainment realm. Miami would be where I would suggest and recommend women to get their training from. Just being honest, because I started out here in Georgia. I'm not saying we slow like everybody else try to play us, but I was slow. And it took for me to go somewhere where I didn't know anyone, I guess, to feel more comfortable. And so when I went to Miami, they were getting these jobs done through Dr. Miami, and before then it was another person. And they were just getting work did, and they were saying, girl, you're gonna have to step it up. Stop being so scared. You wearing too many clothes. I had so many clothes I would come on the stage with. They were like this on. And not being two piece, and they were like, that's just too much clothes on for you to be fine like that. They want to see your body. Start out with a little less layer, and then of course you can still have them to pay you to take it off, but you wearing too many clothes.
Now, is it better to, back to what you said, Dr. Miami, is it better to like upgrade your body as you get into this industry, or just keep
each his own? I really don't like to get into that because I got a close cousin. She has work done, and then I'm natural.
Okay.
So I'm totally natural.
So it just depends.
And I always been scared to go up under the knife. To be honest, when I first started dancing, I was like, I ain't getting no work done to my body. I'm fine as hell, and they just gonna have to get it just like this.
Accept it, yeah.
And if not, but now that I'm getting older, I would say that I would get it done if I had the damn money.
Okay.
Today, like, because I'm thinking about having my stomach flatten back out, because once again we sit down, we have kids sometimes in between our retirements and breaks or whatever you want to call it. And I had a little boy, he kind of messed me up there a little bit, and he's safe and healthy, so that was the best thing about it. But I want my body back when it comes to my
you want to get your body back to where it was before you had it.
So I don't have anything against going under the knife. To each his own. If you feel like you can make more money natural, then do it. If you feel like you can make more money by getting some work done, do that too. And then once again, as you get older, you probably gonna want some work done to keep up with what's going on. I was just blessed with DNA.
Look, ain't nothing wrong with that. And so would you say Miami is the best place to go?
Like, so far
for a stripper, it would be Miami.
Because all of my stripper friends, I go with them when they're getting the surgery, a couple of them rather, and I've seen the process or whatever. It's not as bad as I thought. I just hate needles. I hate knives.
I'm with you. The same thing. I don't like pain. I don't like the needles.
When they pull out the knife, I'm like, girl, I'm out of there. I'm out of here. I'm not sitting here for this. And honey. But I was thinking about even getting tits done recently. I'm still thinking about it, but I'm definitely gonna have my stomach done. So it's just, it's how you feel. If you're comfortable with your body, most likely your customers are going to be comfortable with your body as well. But if you're not comfortable with your body, they're going to detect that, and it could keep you from possibly making as much, the money that you could.
And I was thinking about getting my breast done as well. But I'm the same way with you. I don't know about getting underneath that knife because, like I said, I don't like needles. I don't like pain, and I don't know what that would be like. I can't even get a tattoo. My family wanted to get my brothers wanted to get a family tattoo. I was like, why we gotta get tattoos? We
like
siblings.
6 months old.
We gotta show that we.
I just got to the point where I would get baby tattoos because I was scared of all of that type of stuff. So it's just to each his own. And I've seen a lot of people tatted up, and I was like, oh, hell no,
right?
I can't take pain, to be honest. And so I'm just I'm opening up as I get older to new things and more experience and more experimental more with my body.
Okay.
As I get more mature, and I try tattoos, I try this and that, I try different stuff to keep it spicy and to keep my customers interested.
Okay. I like that.
But that could be a young girl too. Though. You would still have to do something to keep them interested.
You gotta.
It's just, it doesn't matter whether you have the work or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just being honest. I've seen girls with flat booties come in and sit some girls down with big booties. And then I've seen women like myself with little titties come in and shut the party down with people that all surrounded me with boob jobs. And they didn't like that shit very much. So once again, it's just to each his own. And whatever you're comfortable with.
What you're comfortable with. Okay. Yeah, and I think, like you said, I think it's about your confidence, how you carry yourself too. Like you can have someone that maybe has no butt or no titties, and then they can still be bagging the money, but they got that confidence to where be like, damn, she's bad or something. Like
right. And you just gotta know it, and you gotta love your body.
Yes. And so I have a question. I don't want to take all your secrets. You can just tell me what you think.
Oh, I'm gonna tell all my secrets.
Okay.
I was just kidding.
Look, what is the coolest or craziest night that you've had as a stripper?
To be honest, once again, I gotta be honest.
Okay.
Me, I'm boring as
really?
hell when it comes to. I mean, I entertain to a certain level, but when it's time for me to go, or you want to meet me on a personal level, I get very to my like. I go in mommy mode.
Mommy mode. Okay.
So they don't want me.
Mommy.
But the most like weirdest night I've had and rough night I had, it didn't even really involve me. Mm-hmm. It was one day I was coming home from work. It was a really good night. I made plenty of money, enough money to take care of whatever it was I was trying to pay, my light bill, my rent, however. Mm-hmm. And I came out of the club on Fulton Industrial, and I had a chauffeur because I don't drive much after my accident. Okay. So I had a chauffeur. And when I was coming out to meet my chauffeur, I had to stand there for a few minutes, of course, while he was at the light until he pulled in. And as I was standing there, it was these two girls sitting in the car, and this is right after work. It's like 3, maybe 4 o'clock in the morning, little after. And they're just sitting in the car counting up their money. One of the other girls, she looked like she had had a rough night. I could tell she had been crying because it's just so draining. Sometimes she hadn't made the money that she felt like she should have made, and so she was just kind of upset about it. And then the other girl, she was just scuffling around trying to make sure that they had enough. I could tell. And right at the moment when she was almost done counting her money, this man, he just comes up from nowhere. He jumps in the car with them. Get in the back, bitch. And I'm like, what the fuck? At first I thought he was robbing them. Yeah. But then I realized that he ain't robbing them. It's their pimp. Oh, snap. And so I felt like that was set up if they was trying to scare me straight, because I'm standing there. I had to watch this. He jumps in. He start punching her, like, because the one that didn't make money, he put her in the back seat. And he told her, get in the back seat, bitch. And she got in the back seat. And I felt so bad for her because I was independent. I was like, I would never, my brothers would kill him, or my dad would not, definitely he would shoot him. Like, he jumped in the back, and he, after so long, he jumped. He was like, where's the money? And when she told him that she didn't make money, he jumped in the back. He started to punch her like she was a man. And he went from making her perform sexual stuff on him and oral sex on him, and I had to stand there and just watch it happen. I mean, you don't have to, because at certain points it was so derogatory, and it got so explicit to where I had to turn my head away and try to act like I didn't see what was going on. But you could still hear him. He was so loud. It was like he was on something. He was probably high. At least one of them looked high. And then the other girl, he would go back to the front. She made money, so he wouldn't really just make her perform oral sex on him, but he was still talking to her like she was just trash. Like she wasn't shit. And I'm thinking in my head, I got a father and brothers and stuff that love me, and I couldn't imagine. No, I'm serious. I couldn't imagine nobody's treating me that way. I had never been treated that way before, and I was thinking, and that's what made me stop being so rude to my customers as well. Because I'm like, what if that happens to me one night? I make all the money, then boom, I'm being rude to somebody outside. They wait outside. Yeah, and they come and you get it. So he was punching her and then making her sleep with him, and she was just telling him, she was tired. She was tired. She was just tired. And she was telling him the reason why I didn't make money is because I need rest. I need this, basic human needs. And he didn't give a fuck. He wants his money. And to me, he didn't look like a pimp. He looked dirty. He looked like he was high. And I was in my head thinking, I wanted to say to her, girl, fuck him. Yeah. Why in the fuck would you let him treat you that way? And then that's when the man who owned the club, he came out and said, right when my dude was pulling up, the chauffeur, he was saying, Coco, this is what, go on, prepare yourself. If you're going to stay in this realm, this field, this life, because it's going to happen more than you think. And a lot of the girls that you see in there have pimps. And even though they're not getting beat like that, they do have someone that controls them and controls their money. So that was a rough night for me. After that, I stayed at home for a few days. I slipped into a deep, dark depression because it was so degrading. It messed my whole night up, even though I had all this money in my Crown Royal bag, because we carry those little Crown Royal bags. Yeah, I be seeing those. I always wonder what that was. Girl, I had my money in my bag. I came in the house. I'm looking all cute because I have on my outfit. And I'm like, but at the end of the day, when I sat down in that room and I thought about what I had just witnessed, I witnessed a beating, a rape, and a robbery all in one damn time. It messed me up, and I wasn't able to sleep for days. He was to me, he was ugly as hell. He was so damn ugly. It was scary. He looked scary. And, so I kept seeing him in my dreams, and I stayed out of work for almost a week behind it. So that was the roughest night. I can't really think of any other bizarre night besides the one where I made good money at the office in Miami, and then I got upset. Something happened inside the club, and it was so minor. And I was just being real stupid, to be honest. And maybe it was the alcohol had me, but I was very impatient. So after I got enough money, I was like, you know what? I ain't taking this shit tonight. I'm out of here. They getting on my damn nerves. I called the taxi or the chauffeur. He pulls up. I gets in there. I'm so damn upset. I'm counting my money. I put my money in my pocket. I push my dance bag over to the side, and I get on the phone. I'm starting working on the phone. I'm thinking that I put my money in my pocket. Come to find out, I think I put the money in between my leg while I was on the phone because the phone distracted me. Jumped out of the taxi, jumped out of the cab, and left all my money.
Left all that money from that night. I would be mad.
It was so upsetting because, of course, when I called the taxi cab company, they was just like, we don't know. They tried to play dumb, of course. And then the guy who was the taxi that night, he was Haitian. So you can that shit good.
He had that money. He
but it just don't happen though. I wasn't poor. I wasn't broke. I had more money in my safe in my hotel room.
They didn't break you.
But I took a loss for that night. And just setbacks like that can make you have a bad week. Period. So those were one of my worst nights. But I gotta say, seeing him treat that other lady like that was worse than me jumping in that cab losing $800.
Yeah, man. So now on to our next segment, pop culture. So pop culture is usually what we talk about, things that go on inside society. Things that are going on. So like right now, are you big on social media? Not really.
I still try to stay kind of old fashioned because once again I was dating somebody, so I tried to be a little reserved.
Okay.
At certain times, so I don't do much social media, but I have friends that we sit around and talk, so I'm filled in on those.
So are you feel familiar with the app called TikTok?
Yes.
I mean, I love TikTok. I'll be on
all of this every time I'm jumping on there about it going down,
right?
Trying to stop the order for it and prolong
it. And so actually it was closed. To be honest,
I don't do a lot of social media, to be honest, because even though I'm a stripper, I have other goals and dreams. I think it's a distraction, and it's distracting us from what we really need to be focused on. If you were to go to my page, like on my Instagram, and say civil rights leader, I don't present myself as a stripper. I present myself as a at-home mom who tackles and talks about things in the community that other people don't want to talk about, or that they just trying to distract us from, seems like. So I don't get into politics, but so far, but I will say, like, all of this social media and all of this type of stuff, I feel like it's there as a distraction. And we use it we're supposed to use it to socialize. But everybody is so competitive, and it's just a lot of other stuff going on. I think it's distracting us from what we need to be doing as a minority group, as far as focusing on being better and better resources.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel, I thought they really were going to ban it, but it was like a temporary ban.
And everybody.
It didn't even last a whole 24 hours. Come on now.
There's other platforms, but I get what's going on now. My friend girl, she's actually on there. She had to. Once again, we was having this talk last night, and she said, she explained to me, girl, it's mostly black people on there that's making money. So that's why it's a problem.
A lot of influencers,
I get on there and I make money using it. And we didn't get into how, because I was like, well, how you do that shit? You got to teach me how to do this, because every time I get on there, they ban me right away. I think it's just my body is too much. I could wear something like this, and they could tell me it's too explicit. And I'm thinking it's maybe because of the way I'm posing. I'm holding my body, and my body is just big body. It's just, I got a big body, and my butt, I can't even turn around. All platforms I get, man, I can't go live on my Instagram story for a while.
Really?
Because if I turn around, it's just they see that as sex, and I can't move.
But see, usually most videos, when you go on Instagram and stuff, they'll tell you explicit, and then before you click on it, they'll let you know, hey, they can't.
TikTok banned me as soon as I jumped on there, and I was in a 2-piece, and I'm trying to figure out what happened to my friend girl, my home girl, she be damn near naked. And then not naked and nothing. She's still up. So I was like, you got to show me how to do it. But yeah, she explained to me that we're so upset about it is because it's mostly Black people, minorities on there, and we're using that platform to make money and to promote other things that we're doing on the outside. And I said, you know what, I get that. I would be terrified if they were to take my Instagram down. And that's one of my goals. I don't want to be how people make anymore. A living. Like, I want to be a civil rights leader, which I started out before I started stripping and teaching. I wanted to be a civil rights leader and a human rights activist. So if they were to take my page down, I couldn't reach out to all of the groups that I would in order to, you know, protest and talk about the resources and the things we need in the community. Yeah. So I totally get it. I get it. Why we need it. Why they need it. Rather.
And I mean, even myself, you know, me being a musician, you hear a lot of people coming up in TikTok with their music. You know, the whole thing is called the TikTok song or the TikTok dance. And when you're able to have that 30-second snippet and it blows up and goes crazy, like D'Angelo, like his song went crazy. So many people have been able to just make a living off of TikTok. And so I get it, having these certain platforms and it get taken away. I mean, but even remember back in the day, there was an app called Vine. Yeah, it was similar to TikTok, and that thing. But that just left. Like when that ended, it just ended, and I don't even know why. But it's crazy with TikTok though. They're making this whole big issue about it. It's not like with Vine. So that was really interesting. So yeah. So that was all of pop culture. So now I'm in my little segue where we like to get into the sip and listen. So sip and listen is when we go back in time or forward and listen to my catalog and we talk about that particular song. So with sip and listen, this is a little more different because, look, don't you make fun of me, but I'm not really good at dancing and I need some help. And I feel like this would be the perfect opportunity to have you being in your profession to help me. If you can just teach me something, you know, just something so I'm in the club. No, I got and you, my friends are not making fun of me because, you know, I'll be in the club just looking cute. Just be like, yes. And that's all I can do because
that's all you need. To be honest, you're gorgeous enough. To be honest, that's all you need.
That's all I need.
Yeah, years after being beaten up over the years, I look like a patchwork doll. You're fine. You don't got to do nothing but what I did when I started out. Is move from left to right. Left to right. But I'll show you the basics to try to get you started. But I will say this. Once again, back to that, if you're not comfortable with your body, you're not going to be able to do as much. Okay. And it's like when you're comfortable with your body and you can experiment with movement, you know, and you're more comfortable with move different movements. Okay. I think that would be more successful than you being stiff and shy. So now that you're ready and you're willing, that's a good thing. Yeah.
And I would say that's a good thing. Back then, you know, I really was shy-faced. I really didn't know how to move my body. And then I really wasn't sexually active as well. And so I really didn't know like certain things, like how to move. So I you know, growing up,
movement, the better money you make.
Really?
So, yeah, girl, because if you could really, really cut up and hit splits and
do all them dances, things,
look, that's how you make your money. That's your money.
Being a stripper, you got to have some strength going up and down that pole.
That's what I was going to say. Now, that's one thing. I'm a floor dancer. My sister is a pole dancer.
So there's a difference.
To be honest, I've made all that money over all these years and they never went up the pole.
Really?
I think I may have went up the pole one night by a miracle. And I don't know how I got up that motherfucker.
You got up and
look, I should have took notes of the drink. But my sister, she had me so crunk that once she went up there, I was like, oh, let me try this shit. Right. She all up there gliding around.
Making it look easy.
I went up that shit and I came back down with my big booty ass. And then I seen a girl bigger than me. She was rocking the pole and I felt so bad. I was like, oh, I definitely have to learn how to work that pole. But I just don't have enough time to take the pole dancing classes.
Okay.
Because that's how my sister learned.
Oh, she took pole dancing classes. Okay.
Yeah, so but I'm a floor girl. And to be honest, to me, that's more important. Okay. Because at some point you got to come down off that goddamn pole.
But look.
And they gonna want to talk to you when you cute or you pretty and you fine. And they want to get to know you and who they spending their money on. You're going to have to come down on that damn floor. Yeah. So as they say, the real girls get down on the floor. I'm one of them.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to burn a hole in that motherfucker to get my money. So easier for me to make money. Okay. When it's time to make the money, I don't play. I clean house. I pretty much clean house without the pole. I make my image look good on the stage, and then when I'm off the stage, I clean house. I rack it up on the floor. The personality is everything. I try to have good energy now. I'm not young-minded anymore. I'm definitely not rude. I don't want to get my ass kicked. Yeah. So I don't snatch money no more. Okay. And I'm very nice. I'm sweet. I get my money. I talk to them. Whatever it is they want to engage in, I try to engage in a conversation with a, conversation of their topic. And I just make them feel like they important and they money appreciated. And that's just with any business or, whatever. If somebody's spending their money with you, they want to feel appreciated and they want to feel like, hey, I made a good decision with spending this money on her. On you, yeah. So and that's I'm good at the floor.
I had went to the club once and we had went to it used to be called V Live, but I think it's called Vivid now. I think that's the club what it's called now. And there was this one lady, she was just talking to the guy at the section. Tipping her crazy. She wasn't even dancing. They were just talking. Yeah, and she was getting that money. Sometimes they just want companionship and they just want you to talk to them. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you don't even have to be dancing all the time.
So I tried to explain that to my now ex. Okay. That's pretty much what happens if they don't. You can't perceive that in their head and conceive it in their head that some women, conversation rules the nation. If you can sit there and talk to them, sometimes, of course, you don't even have to go that far to take off your clothes or even have sex. And I tell people that all the time. Just because we sitting there talking to men and we're getting money from them, we don't have to guarantee them sex. Exactly. They know we're not even really allowed to let them touch. So we definitely can't guarantee them sex. Exactly. So everybody ain't gonna guarantee you sex, honey. It is some of us that use our brains to make money. Like with me, I charge by the minutes. Okay. So you have to pay for my time. If you want me to sit there and talk to you, you're going to tip me according to my rates for my time. Once it's done and the timer goes off or my phone indicates that his 15 minutes is up, I'm out of there. You're not getting no ass. You're not getting no pussy. Nothing. I'm out of there. That's it. Okay. So it goes by your minutes, not by the songs that's playing. Of course in the club, but when I'm on my time and I'm doing private. Oh, private. Okay. Okay. I see what you mean. Or you want me to sit there and talk to you, you're going to pay me at my rate. When rate. Okay. Makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not going to guarantee sex. And most of the time, once again, when they're into you, they go for it. Because believe it or not, they see you as a person and they feel like I may have a chance of dating her on the outside. Let me try to impress her by giving her money. Yeah, it's all about giving out all the damn secrets. Y'all got me. Right. So they give you the money to try to impress you, hoping that you're gonna choose them, pick them, or call them. Yeah, because it's a fantasy. You're giving them that fantasy of what it could be. Yeah, but definitely. So we're gonna go ahead and do the sip and listen. So, and you said what song would you like to listen to? That was the one. Which one was it? It was Slade. Slade. Okay. I love that Slade. One. Okay. Yeah. And okay, so what do we need to do? Do I need to stand up or do anything? No, once you play the song, I'm just going to show you the basics of what I would do as an amateur starting out on how you would want to get your money. I'll try to stay within the camera's view of what we're going to do. But it's just like a 1, 2, 3 step. 1, 2, 3. Then hopefully you'll get it. But, you're going to have to practice when we ain't around. Okay. So, because you're going to need to get a little bit more looser. You ain't going to be comfortable with doing that all at one time on camera the first time. But let me just show you the basics that we would do and how I was taught in order to get started. So, you got your song on? Yep. Put your song on. Okay. So, of course, if you were the customer, you would come over and we would ask you for a dance. And of course, you would twerk your body some, of course. Okay. Let me make sure you yeah. So this is, do you feel that? Yeah. Okay. Do you feel this? Yeah, I feel that. Okay. So look at me. Do you see this? Yeah. You have to gyrate your body kind of like straight. straight. Yeah, so you have to make it feel comfortable, like if you're just moving your thighs, not bending your knees. Yeah. So when I teach people, I say don't bend your knees and try to pull your feet apart a little bit more. Yeah. Now move your jiggle your thighs.
Jiggle.
Yeah. Jiggle. Or you could just move. Try it. Yeah. You feel that? Okay. So later you will wham. So you moving as you get it. Yep. And it's this. It's your thighs and your hips. So it's like thighs and hips. Yes.
Okay, you don't bend your knees. Right.
Don't bend your knees. So you would gyrate. You have to make them go at the same time. Yeah. You may want to turn it. So yeah, this part of your body.
This part.
You see my body?
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, maybe try one leg at a time. Let's try one leg.
Okay.
See, you just did it.
I don't even know what I did.
You seen her leg go from left to right? Yeah. So you just left to right. And as you get it, your body is gonna move. Yeah, but if you can't get that, once again, you want to do stuff that a cheerleader would do and just do sexy stuff. So you can get in tune with your body.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So just kind of move your body. Just move your body.
Okay, something like I'll probably dance if I'm by myself. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And as you watch, to be honest, as you see other women do it, you'll get with the program. Trust me. You'll get it every night. You know, I practice before I go. Don't be. I mean, once you get used to it, you may have to bend your knees for certain stuff, but just for this, you don't have to bend your knees. Okay. This, you don't have to bend your knees. If you're like this, of course you can bend your knees. Okay. Yeah. It's okay. So you would bend your knees if you were like that. If not, then you try to keep your body straight and just gyrate your thighs. Yeah. And show off your hips. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty much it. And if you can't get it,
practice, like you said, and get comfortable with it.
Yeah. Okay. And then, I mean, if you can't do that, just imitate what a cheerleader would do. Just try to get a routine. It could be just a bounce left, right routine, you know, or just this. You see how I'm doing this with the midsection of my. That's easy. Left to right. Just like I was doing your legs. Just left to right. Yeah. Yeah, Nyomi, you got it. I think I got it. You got it. And as time goes on, you have fun with it. So you will open your legs, bounce from left to right, bounce to left to right, left, right, left, right. You see what I'm saying now?
Okay. Feeling my husband 8 inches.
Oh. See, you got it. And then gyrate your legs. Let's try this again. So left to right. Yeah. Wiggle those legs. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah, you got it. Yes.
Oh, snap. Yes. I like this.
Yeah. Or just, once again, cheerleader routine. If you don't feel comfortable with that, and you feel like, yeah, you just, you know, you're not comfortable with doing it, or it's not sexy enough, just feel yourself. Just feeling yourself. What you would do in front of the mirror, like you said, when you're by yourself, it works. People think it won't, it will.
Okay, bet. Thank you so much.
You're so very welcome. Any more questions?
Yes. Let me just okay. Made a little mess.
Take your time.
Thank you. Oh yeah, you mind centering it for a quick second? This way. A little bit more. Okay. Thank you guys. Sorry about that. We had just had sip and listen. Thank you so much for teaching me those dance moves. Look, I might still have to practice.
In my private time. More into depth with it, but it's just about moving your body.
Okay.
And the art of moving your body and feeling comfortable with the different ways that you move your body.
Okay.
That's it. And like I was saying, I started off from left to right. I was doing the left to right, then how you did your whole midsection. Yes, and then you don't have to just gyrate your thighs because that's pretty hard. Yeah. Everybody gets that part last.
Okay. Yeah. That's last. But I'm going to play with it and I'm going to keep practicing. But thank you so much for those dance moves. And thank you for coming on. I got a lot of good information I did not know. Things you cleared up about, you know, being a stripper. And I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you.
Thanks.
So, guys, the lights might dim, but the vibes don't stop. Catch you guys next time on Nights with Nyomi. Thank you. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Bye.
Okay. Now play the song and turn around and dance right there. Don't come over here.
Okay.
So you can use it later.
Oh, for more content? Okay.
Not you, though.
Are you going to cut it? Or are you going to cut it and start it back? Or do we need it in the segment?
She's going to cut it. She's going to edit it in.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it.
Oh, you're going to cut it. Okay.
You want me to move the table out the way so she won't? Because I don't want her to hit that.
Probably going to need more. Going to need more room.
Because I don't want her to spill it like I spilled my cup.
There enough room?
I don't want to make the equipment. Make the equipment fall. But yeah, pretty much this is what I was trying to teach you. Just from left to right, to left, right, left, take it down, 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 like stuff like this, and just gyrate your leg. You could just, or you could just, like I said, if you're not comfortable with that, a left to right, a left to right. You know what I mean? And just feel yourself. Like if you're just, feeling yourself, you just letting him know that you're comfortable with your body and that you can get your money. You can just gyrate. You can roll, you can pop, you can roll, all of that stuff. Boom, boom, boom. Just simple stuff that you would do like on the football field if you were just playing around. You know what I mean? And then bounce your booty, bounce, 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 bounce. And then once you start to feel it, you would learn how to do what I do. I make my butt clap.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? Right. But once again, just a regular gyrate. Pop, pop, pop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or left to right. This is how you started out. I actually started out like this. Until I could feel this part. And then I started to feel this part. You know what I mean? So I just...
Now see, I feel like I can move. I can do the butt and do...
Yeah.
I can just...
Most definitely.
Like I can, I don't know if you see, I don't know if I'm doing anything, but I'm moving the butt. That's all I can do though.
Yeah, that's good. And then